Shelley, about to jump 85 feet from the top of the sign at Caesar's Palace, is one of tonight's fearless celebrity daredevils. And here are just a few of the dangerous and exciting stunts you'll see performed on tonight's show by these celebrity daredevils. The star of the Blue Lagoon, Christopher Atkins. Movie and TV star, Barbi Benton. Film star, Linda Blair. Movie and TV star, Levar Burton. Star of Little House on the Prairie, Dean Butler. Star of The Young and the Restless, Dennis Cole. Television star, Chuck Connors. Star of Bosom Buddies, Donna Dixon. Movie star, Kirk Douglas. Film star, comedian, Marty Feldman. Star of General Hospital, Anthony Geary. Film and TV star, Marjoe Gortner. Star of Three's Company, Jenilee Harrison. Singing star and actress, Telma Hopkins. Star of Flash Gordon, Sam Jones. Star of Days of Our Lives, Gloria Loring. Television star, Meredith MacCrae. Star of The Waltons, Mary McDonough. Star of Laverne and Shirley, Eddie Mekka. Movie director, Hal Needham. Star of Different Strokes, Dana Plato. Star of Superman, Christopher Reeve. Motion picture star, Burt Reynolds. TV and film star, John Schneider. Star of Happy Days, Cathy Silvers. Film and TV star, Shelley Smith. International movie star, Elke Sommer. Star of Walking Tall, Bo Svensson. Star of Hill Street Blues, Betty Thomas. Also starring in Hill Street Blues, Bruce Weitz. And TV star, Adam West. Your host for this evening, Cathy Lee Crosby, Bert Convey, Jill St. John. Your movie location host, Army Archerd. And special guest host, William Shatner.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, the 31 television and motion picture stars you just saw will be performing the most harrowing and hair-raising stunts. Stunts that up to now have only been done by professional stuntmen or women in movies and TV shows. Tonight, there'll be no stand-ins doing car crashes, no doubles braving flaming walls or explosions, no one changing places with the actress who free falls from 12,000 feet. Our celebrity daredevils, and boy, do they live up to that name, have been specially trained for this program. However, they all realize the dangers are frighteningly real and the risks involved could prove nightmarish. Please keep this in mind as you watch, and never, ever, I mean don't, take any of these risks yourselves. Now, because tonight's stunts are so wildly varied, it was actually impossible to find just one location perfect for all of them. So we'll use this control room for home base and show you the stars doing their stunts from many different places. For openers, Bert Convey introduces our first celebrity daredevil from an airstrip outside Hollywood. Hang on to your seats, everybody.
Let me ask you this. Why would a successful actor hang suspended from an airplane on a narrow rope ladder, then crash through flames into a burning wall? Beats me. The answer could only come from the celebrity daredevil who's been training to perform this dangerous thrill act. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Levar Burton.
Levar and his pilot, Art Scholl, take off in the Piper Cub, and the rope ladder is released. Getting out of the plane is one of the most dangerous aspects of this stunt, and adjusting his body to balance on that squirming rope takes a lot of practice and coordination. And remember, Levar is not wearing a parachute. With Levar perched on the third lowest rung, the plane flies dangerously close to the ground as the pilot makes a pass at the target to get his bearing for the dramatic crash through. One more look around, and Levar gives the signal for the structure to be ignited. The flames leap up to to become a scorching wall of fire. The pilot makes his final descent, lowering Levar until he barely skims the surface of the runway. He's trying his best to aim Levar into the center of the blistering wall to avoid his hitting the solid wooden post buried deep in the ground. Steady. Steady. And here he comes. Fantastic. Terrific. Let's watch the staggering performance again from 4 different angles.
Look at me giving you a hand after that. I don't think you need it. Congratulations.
Thanks, Bert.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was scared to death. Were you scared?
Yeah. I would be crazy. I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't.
An honest man. What could have gone wrong? I mean, with all this stuff that's going on and all that
there are 1,000,001 variables, things that you can't control. There's wind. There's this time of day, you're hitting all kinds of air pockets up there. There could be something going wrong with the plane. I mean, you never know. Something wrong with the wall. We could have missed. I mean, it felt like we went smack dab through the center.
You went right through the
center.
Of the wall.
Yeah, it was a great hit. I mean, you could miss and have to do it again. You know, all those kinds of things.
Are you afraid of heights?
Not anymore.
I'm afraid of Ferris wheels. I don't know how you pulled that off. Listen, I can only tell you that I know you as an actor, and I know you as a friend, and I have to be honest with you. I wouldn't have had the guts to do it. I just wouldn't do it.
Well,
why did you do it?
It's the kind of thing, it's a handful of men who've ever done this in the world. It's a very small, eclectic, elite club that I've just joined here, and you know, it's something to take to the grave with you.
But thank God not today.
Not today.
Congratulations.
No.
Coming up, Bruce Weitz of Hill Street Blues.
Throughout tonight's show, you'll be watching some spectacular car stunts, just like the ones in the movies. But remember, no stuntmen here. Just a star and his car. And, oh yes, coming up next in Las Vegas, an unavoidable, monstrous truck. An interesting thing about car stunts in the movies is that the same stunt could work in a comedy or a drama, like the one you're about to watch. If it took place in Smokey and the Bandit, it would make you laugh. But if you saw it in The French Connection, it would stop your heart. Either way, it's terrific action. With a car, a big truck that gets in the way, and a driver who also plays either comedy or drama, Mr. Adam West.
Adam's trainers are making sure his harness is comfortable, giving him those all-important last-minute instructions, and checking to make sure that everything else inside the car is okay. Each celebrity daredevil doing a stunt where a fiery explosion could take place will be wearing Nomex fire retardant hoods. Adam adjusts his. The red line you see on the left side of the ramp acts as a guide for the driver, as does the tape that's being applied to the car. Adam should put them in direct alignment with each other as he heads for the ramp. Trying to get used to his mouthpiece, Adam puts his helmet on over that Nomex hood. Takes another look at that ramp.
Stand by.
And starts getting into position for this potentially very dangerous car stunt. Adam West, like all of our other celebrity daredevils, has been carefully trained. But remember, he is not a professional stuntman. And he'll be going at top speed when he hits that ramp. Look at that sensational crash again.
And a camera here. Maybe I can urge you to turn around. How are you feeling?
Well, Bill, I'll tell you, it's nothing the captain wouldn't have done on Star Trek.
Oh, but I'm not Robin. Come around this way. Were you prepared for what happened?
Well, not exactly. I mean, as far as the mechanics, yes. But the closest I've come to that, Bill, was pulling my doggy in my red wagon. And it's...
Were you scared?
In a word, altogether now, yes.
What was your biggest moment of fear?
Getting out of bed this morning and driving to Vegas.
That's the comedy of Adam West and the drama of Adam West. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam West.
Under completely controlled conditions, we put a torch to a famous actor and heated up his surroundings, too. But Jill St. John remains cool enough, just long enough, to tell us what's happening.
Here's a familiar movie or TV scene. It takes place in any barracks. One of our men in a uniform comes face to face with one of theirs in a trench coat. The enemy, of course, meets with a very unhappy ending. Indeed, so unhappy that it would normally require a stuntman. But on this occasion, the bad guy in the trench coat is our celebrity daredevil, the very talented star of Hill Street Blues, the fearless Mr. Bruce Weitz.
This scene took hours of preparation. Bruce was first powdered down by his dressers because the real danger comes from blistering as opposed to being burned by the flames. Actually, they're trying to prevent perspiration so that his skin won't boil. Then comes the Nomex insulation inner suit, which is fire resistant. Next, they begin putting on his fiber cloth outer suit, which is foam insulated. But before they zip it up, they insert a tank which holds about 10 minutes of air. Bruce breathes through a special tube because the danger during the full burn comes with the possibility of scorching his lungs from the fiery air surrounding him. His ankles and wrists are the parts that are really exposed, so they have to be taped closed. 2 Nomex hoods will add further protection. Then they pull on his aluminized ceramic cloth suit, carefully leaving out that all-important air tube, which is then placed under his mask. Now an oversized sweater and trench coat. The mask is sealed with a fire-resistant compound. And the black fedora is placed over his fiberglass helmet for that fashionable villain look. A highly combustible mixture is added to gasoline already poured over the cars and over Bruce. The director sets up the barrack scene once more. An extra touch of putty for luck. And then the countdown for the bazooka shot and explosion.
3, 2, 1.
The torch is applied to Bruce, and here's the shot you actually saw before. The crew rushes over to extinguish the fire. They have to hurry to get him out of his mask so he can breathe fresh air.
I can get the 2 shots and fill in it.
Turn over.
And finally, some of his outer clothing.
Let's get the helmet off. It's starting to get warm in here. Get the helmet off.
Bruce! I do not believe this, man! Are you all right?
I'm fine. How are you? You look very excited.
Oh, just a little excited. I can't believe you did this. What was the toughest part of doing this stunt?
There is no really difficult part. I would not advise anybody to try this at home. You know, we have Peter Horak, who coordinated this stunt for me, is an expert fire burner. He's done 100 of these. So he knows what he's doing at all times. An amateur tries to do this and they'll die. There's no two ways about it.
Being knowledgeable about the stunt, what were you most apprehensive about?
I was most apprehensive about sweating because if you start to perspire, and it gets incredibly warm in the suit, and if you start to perspire, the perspiration turns and starts to form blisters, and that's the way you burn, and that's what I was most apprehensive about, that and running out of air.
You had, what, 5 minutes of air?
5 minutes, yeah, but we were back there before I came out while we were putting on the finishing touches. It seemed like forever.
The longest 5 minutes of your entire life. Well, look, let's take you back to your air-conditioned dressing room.
Okay.
Coming up, Christopher Atkins and Burt Reynolds.
Looking down from the roof of this 20-story building in Las Vegas, I couldn't believe this next crazy stunt was happening. You probably would have spilled your popcorn watching this scene at the movies, but our window washer is safe for the moment. All he has to worry about now is having the strength to climb to the top of that 20-story building, and those windows can't be opened. Ladies and gentlemen, the talented young star of Little House, A New Beginning, Dean Butler.
Yeah, there's no doubt in the training for the climb, we talked about ways to do it, either by going on the window itself or going heel to toe, or going toe actually into the track. There is no doubt that the balance is better with your foot, the toe, into the track. You can make pretty good progress that way and actually go up pretty quickly. Just past one joint in the track. It's real good. Looks real good. Just a little slip on the glass there, guys. No problem. Yeah, I see some people in the window up here. Fancy tower, they're waving high. How's the jacuzzi? Sticky track right there. Sticky track. Okay, I'm clear. I'm clear. Okay, no hands now, guys, okay? All right. Hang on. Okay. All right, now just get out of the way.
Dean?
Yeah.
You've been on that show too long. They make elevators to do that very thing. You're incredible.
Oh, okay.
A lot of these stunts have been very dangerous, Dean.
They have been.
Yes, this is certifiable.
Well,
You're absolutely crazy.
Well, Bill, you know, of all the stunts that they could have done,
Yes.
I thought this was one of the more normal ones.
Were you afraid at any time?
I think once you're in the building, your concentration is so locked into the equipment that you're not really aware of the distance below or the space around.
Do you have any idea how long it took you to climb the building?
I think it was faster than I thought it was going to be, but I don't know what the time was. I didn't have my watch on.
He may not have had his watch, but he sure knew how to make time. Let's go back a few minutes and see Dean actually make a date 18 stories above the ground.
How you doing? Yeah. Sure. Got a glass cutter? Huh? No, I'm an actor. My name's Dean Butler. I do Little House on the Prairie. You ever watch Little House? No, I'm Laura's husband. She's my wife. Huh? I can't hear you. I'm gonna have to come around here. I gotta... You know, that's the deal. What's the room number? 7816? Okay, that's the deal. I had to rest, and I got lucky and stopped next to a suite on the Fantasy Tower where there are two lovely blondes there.
No.
And I just sat there and
Dean, you
chatted
don't
with them for a
understand.
few minutes.
This is called the Fantasy Tower because those girls weren't really there. Why don't you introduce us to the guy who trained you?
Yeah, I'd like to take this chance to introduce George Willick, who in 1977 climbed the World Trade Center and was instrumental in training me for this.
Right.
George,
Two certifiable nuts. He's bringing his diploma too. It says nut right here. Nut. What kind of a student was he?
Excellent. I don't think he had the initial fear of heights that most people seem to have. I've read that...
Sane people.
I've read that something like 92% of people are afraid of heights, and Dean has a minimum fear of heights, and we were able to work together very well.
So you two are the select 8%. Well, I congratulate you, Dean, on a magnificent job, a wonderful actor. Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Butler.
Great
you, guys.
It's a far cry from the Blue Lagoon to the Great Barrier Reef of Australia. But our next celebrity made the transition quite easily. This time, however, his co-stars are a very unglamorous moray eel and a very hungry shark. Ladies and gentlemen, the underwater bravery of the undaunted Mr. Christopher Atkins.
Hi, I'm Christopher Atkins. This is The Reef Lady, where for a few wonderful days I was the guest of National Geographic photographers Ron and Valerie Taylor. They had promised to let me try to feed some of the terrifying sharks who live on Australia's Great Barrier Reef. I've been diving for years, but the reef offers some of the most exciting and beautiful marine life in the world. On the first dive, we came across this huge 5-foot sea snake. Now, I knew the venom of these snakes was 10 times more deadly than a king cobra's. But Val Taylor had discussed these dangerous creatures with me, and I knew that by grabbing it at the right spot around the neck, it would become mesmerized like a kitten held by the nape of its neck. This one actually coiled itself into an interesting wristband. But I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to wear that for too long. Look at the size of that thing. Leading the way, Valerie spies our first moray eel, half hidden in a cave of coral. Not very attractive. With those sharp, needle-like teeth, it can rip into a fish or a man and tear him apart. But he has a friend who eats right out of my hand. Hey! I said out of my hand, not my hand. Val checks the damage to my fingers. Those teeth really did do a number on me. And as it turned out, I'm bleeding a lot, so we have to head on up. Good old Nurse Valerie decides I'll live. But it seems like a small bite turns out needed 4 stitches. With no doctor on board, I did it myself. And I'll tell you, I'll never trust another moray eel again. The next day, it's time to feed the sharks. We swam down about 20 feet and brought a couple of the biggest reef fish we could find. Our guests are a little late, and being just a little tense, I try stirring up some action. Here comes one. He's not interested. But there's lots more circling all around us. Here comes another white-tip reef shark, and this one's a biggie, about 5.5 feet long, and he's hungry. Comes around for his last circle, and he hits the fish. He shakes and twists the fish right out of my hand and ate half of it in one bite. Well, I'm glad that one ate and ran. Here comes another. I have to be very careful so as he doesn't get my fingers in that. Look at that. He took the whole fish. Al congratulates me, and boy, do I feel great. Imagine that. I fed the sharks.
Next, Chuck Connors and Marty Feldman in an old-fashioned barroom brawl.
Let's head now for a Hollywood studio set, where comedians actually have to learn how to fight to get a laugh. Bert introduces the wacky action.
Isn't it nice to see an old-time Western barroom so peaceful and quiet? No? Ah, you'd rather see a barroom brawl with fights and falls and plenty of beer bottles and broken heads. Well, we can handle that, but first we'll need a couple of rough-looking cowboys. And then I think we'll need a villain. Let's call him Black Bart. And then let's have a craggy-faced bartender. Looks like Chuck Connors. Yeah. And then, of course, our hero. Strong, courageous, upstanding. Marty Feldman?
Our hats off to you, Marty, and so will it be to the celebrity daredevil who attempts this next stunt. Getting a car up a ramp fast enough to shear the top off another car, plowing through a couple more, and land any way you can, it's hard for me to comprehend. Maybe Cathy Lee understands.
Stuntmen call this next car stunt a T-bone, but I call it a T-bone crusher, and you'll see why very shortly. But before our celebrity daredevil drives up, I'd like to remind everyone again that these stunts are being performed by our stars after long periods of intense training and with special safety precautions. So please, don't try them on your own. And now, here comes our next celebrity daredevil, whose T-bone stunt will be out of this world. But what else would you expect from the movie star who played Flash Gordon? Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Jones and the T-bone.
There's the setup of a T-bone, an easy-to-miss ramp, and 5 cars.
What do you got, any gaffer tape handy?
I think I want something here.
Tape, gaffer's tape.
Just a little pad or something.
Here, there you go. That's all I need. Got it? Yeah, that's all I need.
Step back in the seat and we'll give you your mark on the head.
Okay. Yeah, bring your right hand that way. Okay. Hey, Ralph, I want to ask you something. Come here. I know we did this before now. Am I lining up from, see?
You line that up?
From right here.
Line it up on the inside of the ramp.
Straight to there, right, okay. Oh, on the inside of the ramp, not the tape. Okay, all right. Move it back to the right, Ralph.
Okay, put it down. Fine.
See it well enough?
Yeah, I'm right on the inside of the ramp there. All right.
Put your hood on first.
Taking the advice of trainer Ralph Carpenter, Sam puts on his fire retardant hood.
Yeah, that's what it is. Right there by the trap. You put the hood on Butler,
And then his fiberglass helmet.
I'll do that for you. We got too much material in them there now. Okay, thank you. Do it.
Those are the cars he must crash over at the right speed.
Do it. All right, this is the go. Yeah. Hurry.
He's going too fast.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go back and look at it again.
Come on up, boss. All right. You graduated. All right.
You done good.
Very good. I don't think I shut my door. I didn't.
Look what you left. you just kept going. Was that part of the plan?
Well, I tell you, you've heard of T-bone steaks, right? Well, this was T-bone Jones right here. That's what it was, T-bone and Jones.
Well, obviously you can't wreck cars when you go out and practice this thing. So how do you actually learn how to do the T-bone?
Well, Ralph Carpenter and Jeff, they had us out at Indian Dunes for a couple of weeks, teaching us the 180s, the 360s, reverse and forward. And like I said, the only jumps we made were from a ramp to a dirt mound.
What was the scariest part?
I was nervous, but I really wasn't thinking of, the scary part. I guess hitting, but the impact wasn't. It's actually harder when you hit on a surface, concrete or dirt, than hitting on top of cars.
Was it a real thrill?
Yeah, it was.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Jones and the T-bone.
Next, two beautiful daredevils, Dana Plato and Elke Sommer.
When I tell you that in this next stunt, our celebrity daredevil drove by so fast, the camera almost lost her, believe me, it's true. Jill tells us about the unusual vehicle and its glamorous driver.
Even stuntmen don't come across trucks like this too often. It's 24 feet long, and beneath all that chrome is its powerful jet engine, which develops 6,000 pounds of thrust, and that's equivalent to 12,000 horsepower. This snarling, growling, monstrous machine weighs over 4,500 pounds. And taking control of it, weighing barely 115 pounds, is a beautiful Hollywood actress. Ladies and gentlemen, the truck is the Screaming Eagle. The celebrity daredevil is the glamorous international star, Miss Elke Sommer.
Hi, Jill.
Hi.
Now, let me show you around my new little toy a bit, okay? Wow. Now, these big cylinders here are gas tanks with one on each side. The truck does, strangely enough, run on diesel. It's been specially modified for that. The tires, if you notice, they're pretty big, right? Pretty impressive. They are made for speeds up to 250 miles an hour. The little cylinders over there hold the parachutes. Now, there are two chutes in each cylinder. In case this cylinder doesn't open for one reason, or, you always have to have a backup, there are two more chutes in the other one. So you just press a little lever and they'll come out. So far, I don't think the other the spare chute has ever been used, so it's always worked. And well, it's a beautiful piece of machinery. I'm very excited about it. Wait until you see it go. Well, you'll see.
We can't wait.
Now I'd like you to meet my engineer.
Oh, lovely.
His name is Geary, and he's right in there. Hi, Geary.
Hi, Elke.
Here we go.
Hey, Elke, should we go through our checklist?
Let's do that, Geary. Sure.
Engine fuel off.
Check.
Okay, main parachutes forward.
Yep.
Okay, afterburner fuel off.
Yep.
Emergency parachutes forward.
Forward.
Okay, master on. Okay, engine igniters up.
Up.
Okay. Stack igniters on.
On.
Off.
Check the horn.
Okay.
Everything all right?
Okay, master off.
Master off. Master off. Master off. Okay.
While Elke readjusts her helmet over that beautiful face and does another last-minute check of the controls, the start cart is driven up to the Screaming Eagle to fire up that powerful jet engine. And there it goes. The rather quiet sound that will soon become the roaring noise of the awesome jet. Elke approaches the starting line and the flashing time tree. When the lights turn green, that will be her go signal. And she's off. And there go the chutes to help her stop the Screaming Eagle. Looks like one's on fire.
I did. Wow. Congratulations, Elke. I can't believe this. I'm so glad you're alive. Oh, how fast were you going?
Jill, I have no idea. My heart's beating like crazy.
I bet it is.
I was much too busy trying to hold the truck down steady. How fast were we going, Gary?
Well, you're doing 145 knots. I multiplied it out to 163.85 miles an hour.
163. Thank you.
163 miles an hour. Did you know that your parachute caught on fire?
No, I didn't know, but I realized I had a little trouble when the chutes came out, which is the most critical moment in the whole thing for me. Anyhow, the speed doesn't bother me, but she's very hard to hold on the road over a speed of 110 miles. So she was shimmying back and forth. I think you even saw that. And no, we just had to put on the brakes a little further.
That scares me. That's got to be the most critical moment. Would you do this again?
Yeah, anytime. You want to come with me?
No way, Jose. Thank you, Elke. She's crazy. Beautiful, but she's crazy.
To become the co-star of a successful TV series at the age of 14, that takes talent. To jump out of an airplane at 12,000 feet and free fall for 8,000 feet, that's nuts. I mean, that takes guts. Ladies and gentlemen, the gutsy and talented star of Different Strokes, the lovely Miss Dana Plato.
Hi, we're here at Elsinore Airport, which is the background for a very exciting and personal little drama starring me. It all started when the producers of Celebrity Daredevils asked if I wanted to learn how to skydive for the show. Well, I had always imagined how great the sensation must feel to free fall through the air. And here was the perfect chance to learn under the greatest conditions. So quicker than you could pull a ripcord, I said yes. And first I met my instructor and he started me right off with basic training. First they taught me how to land, which obviously is more important than the jump. They corrected me over and over and I did it again and again. Then into the harness to teach me how to free fall. Very safe from this height, but not very exciting. Now we're actually leaving the plane door from 2 feet off the ground. They showed me how to fold my parachute, but I really don't need to know how to do that until I have my own. Finally, the big moment. The first time up in the air. The real honest-to-goodness air. We went over and over every instruction very carefully. Okay, ready, set, and out I go. Everything's okay, and here I am. Nothing but the rush of the wind in my ears. And the ground is coming up a lot faster than I'd like it to. Amazing. I landed practically on target. Okay, I'm up again. Yep, that's me in the black suit. The instructor's holding on to me and I feel just like Peter Pan. He wants me to break away, turn, and track back. Every time I change my position, I go off into a different direction. What a sensation. I can't believe I'm falling over 100 miles an hour. Now for my third jump. I'm feeling a lot more confident. And even my turns are a lot more sophisticated this time. It's so amazing, I don't even feel like I'm falling. I must remember to keep looking at my altimeter to know when I have to do my dive. Not yet. One more turn and back. Then my partner nudges me and I look up and smile at the cameraman who's falling just above us. Here I go, from 12,500 feet to 4,500 feet, straight down. Well, how about that? I look just like the pros, huh? Well, not quite. The films we just showed you were shot during my training for the big jump on tonight's show. But I never made that jump because the landing you just saw ended in a slight mishap. I broke my ankle. I gotta tell you, I did make several good landings. But this last time, I think I zigged when I should have zagged. Even with all the professional training, there's always a risk involved with doing stunts. And everybody goes in knowing that. I think that's part of the excitement. But I guarantee on next year's Celebrity Daredevils, I'll show you a spectacular skydive plus a perfect landing.
Stay tuned for our Demolition Derby plus battling Burt Reynolds.
If you enjoy the exciting sounds of crashing and crunching, and slamming and banging, and grunting and groaning, and yelling and screaming, followed by a big round of applause, well, there are a number of possibilities. One of them, of course, is a demolition derby. 10 of Hollywood's most glamorous, most gentle, and feminine creatures are about to step gracefully into these special cars and then proceed to smash the living daylights out of each other. The last driver whose car can still move under its own power will be the winner. Each of these lovely ladies might be trading in a beautiful eyelash for a possible whiplash. But they're all out to win. Now, may I introduce our beautiful drivers? In alphabetical order, of course, motion picture and TV star, Miss Barbi Benton. What number, Barbi?
I've got the big green cookie monster, car number 8.
Good for you. Never to be forgotten in The Exorcist, Miss Linda Blair.
And I've got car number 3.
From TV's bosom buddies, Miss Donna Dixon.
Car number 1.
From the successful Three's Company, Miss Jenilee Harrison.
My lucky number 5.
Singer and actress, Miss Telma Hopkins.
I've got car number 6.
Playing out the days of our lives, Miss Gloria Loring.
Car number 9.
Actress and talk show hostess, Miss Meredith MacCrae.
Well, Bill, I'm hoping this is going to be the lucky one today, number 2.
I don't know whether luck has anything to do with it. One of the happy group of happy days, Miss Cathy Silver.
I have lucky car number 7.
Good, Cathy. Movie and TV actress, Miss Shelley Smith.
I have the pink card, number 11.
And coming over from Hill Street Blues, Miss Betty Thomas.
It's 12, Bill, and I hope that's the number of cars I take out in the first minute.
You got it. And now, when you hear the signal, get into your cars. Judging our demolition derby, Mr. Ralph Carpenter. Ladies and gentlemen, the demolition derby.
So it's Donna, car number 1. Meredith, car number 2. Linda in car number 3. Jenilee assigned to car 5. Telma, car 6. Cathy in car 7. Barbi goes through the window of car 8. Gloria, car 9. Shelley in car 11. And Betty's thumbs up in car 12.
Gene, if you can hear me,
We're ready to start. The girls are all safely harnessed in their cars. You take a look at them as they're ready to go. Ralph Carpenter poised with the checkered flag. And they're off. Here comes Jenilee Harrison in car 5. She sideswipes Cathy Silver's car 7 and goes right into 11. The rest of the girls jockey for position. Meredith MacCrae rips into Donna Dixon in car number 1. As Gloria Loring smashes Barbi Benton and gets crushed by Betty Thomas in return. Jenilee Harrison tags Linda Blair and takes a return shot from Shelley Smith. Here's a timid crash by Meredith MacCrae to Telma Hopkins in 6. Jenilee Harrison again sideswiping Barbi Benton. She's vicious. Jenilee Harrison pulling away. Watch out for her. Back in the corner, Donna Dixon puts a vicious punch on MacCrae, and Shelley Smith savagely belts Linda Blair. So does Donna Dixon. Look at the parts fly. Betty Thomas now in 12 gets a backward roll and crashes Shelley Smith right out of the contest. Another running start for Donna Dixon. She drives Barbi Benton to the end of Barbi's demo derby career. It's Telma Hopkins slamming, cutting into Meredith MacCrae, and that hit was hard enough to put both of them out of it. Yep, that's true. There's the flag. Cathy Silver's now on the move, looking for a target. Looks for Dixon, has her, and hits her typically. So does Linda Blair. But Jenilee Harrison comes and zaps Blair. Silvers and Thomas now attack each other viciously. But Silvers really gets ripped by Donna Dixon. Linda Blair smashes Donna in a 360-degree skid. Nice driving, girls. Now Blair repositions. Donna crunches Linda in sweet revenge, and Jenilee smacks Betty Thomas right on the side. They come apart. Linda Blair again to repay the favor by crunching Donna. After clever jockeying, Donna misses Jenilee. Chasing, Jenilee comes back to smash Cathy Silver thoroughly, and in turn finally is hit by Donna Dixon. Continuing on. See who's going for whom. Donna is going to attack Betty Thomas viciously. And Jenilee Harrison retaliates by savaging Donna. Move apart. Linda Blair comes in the act now, belts Betty Thomas. Linda Blair in number 3. Donna Dixon smashes Cathy Silvers. Pulls away. Puts it in reverse. And repeats the favor. Hits her again. And Cathy Silvers is probably out of it. Jenilee Harrison, the marauder, is there, and she smashes into Linda. But Donna misses. Linda pulls away. These 3 seem to be the leaders. Only 3 cars left. Linda Blair smashes Betty Thomas once. Jenilee Harrison backing up. Don't know what she's up to. She's moving against Thomas, but Linda Blair hits Thomas a second time, and then Jenilee Harrison comes in for the kill. Blair trying to get her moto working. Pulls away. Betty sings the Hill Street Blues. She's finished out of it. Only 2 cars left. Again, Jenilee Harrison. I don't know how she does it. Everything's falling apart, but she's still in there, dragging her tailpipe behind her. Linda Blair still in the race, but look at that tire. Jockey for position. 1 hit ought to cinch it. They're rolling at each other. They're looking for each other, circling each other as 2 combatants. I think Linda's in trouble. The car's smoking. I think they're getting calls for her to get out, get out. I think that's it. She's packing it up. She's out to safety. And the extinguishers are going to put out the fire. Unfortunately, Linda Blair, safe. She came in second. And Jenilee Harrison wins the first Celebrity Daredevil Demo Derby.
For helping us out here, because all of us girls have had a really good time, and I've met some really neat friends here, and so the whole thing's been fun to boot.
Well, congratulations to you all. It was great fun watching you. Woo! And we hope you got a big bang out of all this, out of doing our Celebrity Daredevil Demolition Derby.
Stay tuned for Burt Reynolds, plus surprise guest star Jim Nabors and Christopher Reeve.
Uh-oh, there's trouble ahead. Our next Celebrity Daredevil must escape from a lake, get up in the air, and on the nearby shore faster than a James Bond stuntman. Burt sets up the action at Lake Castaic.
You're about to watch an action-packed scene with a beautiful heroine on water skis. Suddenly, villains appear on water bikes shooting at her. What happens then is what stuntmen call a water transfer. Now, you've seen it many times on movies and in television, but here, performing her own hair-raising escape, is the lovely star of the Waltons, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Mary McDonough.
The ski boat is piloted by her boyfriend. The villain's on the water bike shooting at them. Now, the chopper comes for the rescue, after the villain shoots the hero. In true Hollywood fashion, the chopper comes in low. Up, up, higher and higher as the villain meets a watery end. Sign to the pilot that she's okay. Now all Mary has to worry about is landing on the shore. There she goes, hanging in there like a real pro.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either.
That was fantastic. How do you feel?
I feel great. I know what those guys go through now. Boy, is it tough.
What did you do to train for this? It made me a nervous wreck.
Well, I water skied a lot.
Yeah.
And
This is the second time I've ever done the helicopter stunt.
And here's what happened to me the first time I tried it. Ouch.
What is the scariest point while you're out there? I mean, the whole thing looks scary to me. What was the scariest point for you?
The scariest point is trying to get close enough to the chopper to make the commitment to it. Once you make the commitment to the skid, you have no choice. You can't back out.
You have to go.
Yeah.
You didn't back out. It looked wonderful. It was fantastic. I'm shaking. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay. We're gonna cut away now and let you get unbuckled here and dry off a little bit, okay? Take it away.
Now back to our stadium, where some stunts are so beautiful to watch, they almost look easy to do. Not so. Hours and hours of training went into perfecting this next breathtaking one. Cathy Lee describes it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marjoe Gortner.
Thank you.
While most of us are content to fly in airplanes that have regular wings and wheels, the flying machine you're about to see is a stuntman's dream. The wings are a hang glider, and the wheels are a motorcycle. And in between we find a very brave and very talented Marjoe Gortner. Marjoe is going to attempt to fly over 30 cars, which is a distance of approximately 190 feet. And at the apex of this amazing flight, his cycle glider will be soaring almost 20 feet above the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, Marjoe Gortner.
Wish me luck, everybody.
As Marjoe gets into action in that beautiful flying machine, you should know that he has rehearsed the stunt for more than 2 months.
Sure is a lot of cars. Let me take a look at them. Let me just cruise by once more before I jump over this.
So it's only natural that he would want to double check to make sure all conditions are perfect. Cars lined up straight, landing area cleared, as well as the surrounding areas in case the wind pulls him to one side or the other.
Looking good. Let's do it.
Readies himself for that takeoff. A fantastic flight and a perfect landing.
Incredible! I have never seen anything like that. Can you get it off?
What do you mean, can I get it off? I just got it off.
How did you learn how to do this?
The kite travels at negative pitch until you hit the ramp. And I don't know if you notice, but at the ramp, you got to pull the handlebars and you get it airborne, and then she's sailing. And then for that, it's a great feeling. I mean, I must say, looking down and seeing those cars go by, I was real happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So were we. Believe me, there's a lot of people down here were very happy, too.
Well, I'm just glad to be here.
It was absolutely beautiful. And thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Marjoe Gortner.
Coming up, Dennis Cole, Anthony Geary, Eddie Mekka, and Superman Christopher Reeve.
The setting is once again Las Vegas, but the plot is strictly Hollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to prove once more that crime does not pay. It's a classic movie scene where the jewelry thief gets caught red-handed and pays with his life. Normally, a stuntman would take the risk involved, but on this show, our celebrity Daredevil will be the thief and will face the risk himself. The co-star of Laverne and Shirley, Mr. Eddie Mekka.
Eddie, fantastic stunt. Congratulations. How do you feel?
A little shaken up. I'm fine.
Were you scared?
Yeah, coming down, I was a little scared.
You fell off the sign. You jumped off the sign outside of the Caesar's Palace, and now this jump. What were you thinking when you were falling?
Well, the one out there, I was praying for my life coming down because I wasn't going to land in the middle of the bag, so I was a little scared. But this one was it's a piece of cake because it's not as high.
I see.
And you get to land on. See, I don't know what the air was.
It was at his last gasp as you fell.
Yeah, this is an airbag.
Tell us about it.
It's 14 by 16, and you got like 10 vents in it, and
it's held up how?
It's held up by air. Okay.
There's a motor over there that pumps.
There's a motor that pumps air, and there's 10 vents with like Velcro here. All right, and you're supposed to.
That Velcro is your safety valve, is it?
I pray for this thing that it holds. All right, and you have these holes on the outside, and make sure the Velcro sticks on the inside, and you try to land in the middle of the airbag. That's it.
I see.
It's a piece of cake.
What about your training? How to fall and how to land in the bag?
Well, you start with lower levels, and you work your way up, and it's a lot of fear. Once you overcome the fear. Once you overcome the animosity of heights, then...
The animosity of heights. I love that phrase. You were shot out of the cannon in Circus of the Stars, and now falling through the air here. Is there any similarity in the feeling?
Well, pretty much when you get shot out of a cannon, you know you're going to land on the net. That's pretty a little bit more accurate than this. This, you got to figure the wind, and you got to figure that the airbag is going to work. And
You feel more secure in the cannon than the fall here?
Yeah.
See? Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Mekka conquering the animosity of fear.
Now back to Las Vegas, where we're about to watch an actor purposely roll over in a car, knowing that a crash and an explosion are almost inevitable. Get ready for some more heart-pounding excitement. Here's Cathy Lee.
You've seen this next car stunt performed many times in the movies and on television. It's called the rollover. And believe me, it's still one of the toughest, even for the pros. It requires a great sense of timing, a lot of raw courage, and a flair for the dramatic. Come to think of it, that's what you need to become a good actor, too. So, ladies and gentlemen, a good actor and an uncompromising daredevil, the handsome young star of The Young and the Restless,
Thank you.
Mr. Dennis Cole. Good luck, Dennis.
Yeah, what?
Okay. Pull your shoulders down the way you like them. Slide this thing forward. Here we go. I want to slide this up. Here. So it's wrapping your neck. You better zip this up while we have the time.
Dennis and every other celebrity daredevil on tonight's program have been given the utmost in protection and professional know-how. Once again, we see Ralph Carpenter applying a guideline tape.
Now hold your breath, because here's Dennis Cole to do the rollover.
Here he comes, barreling down on the target. He did the stunt perfectly. The crew's rushing in. Let's see if he's all right. He seems to be fine. Let's look at that again from our different cameras.
Hey, can you get it off? You sure you're okay?
Am I sure?
Yeah. Turn around.
I'm sure.
You're sure right.
I felt like going through a divorce.
Is this dangerous?
I wouldn't advise anyone to do it.
Would you do it again?
Probably not. No, I'll tell you what, to be honest, you know, these guys are really great, the stunt guys. I worked with some of them before. And I'll do the acting, and I'll let them do the stunts, because it's too much for me.
I agree with you. Ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Dennis Cole.
A good fight scene, followed by the hero chasing the villain in special cars across bridges, over rivers, down twisting roads. Get the picture? Jill frames it for you.
Even when he's not in the desert, the gentleman standing next to me is one of television's hottest young actors, Mr. Anthony Geary.
Hello, Jill. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. How are you?
Feeling fine.
Tony, for years on General Hospital, you've always played a bit of a devil. How come this switch to Daredevil?
Well, I've pretty much done my own stunts on General, you know, fight sequences and things like that. But I've always had a fantasy of doing one of those wild, semi-futuristic car chases like they did in the movie Megaforce.
Ah, well, what if we give you a couple of those wild-looking mega-destroyers and a really nasty villain to grapple with?
Oh, let me at him.
He's really going to go for it.
Tony!
Now, the chase sequence that Tony Geary has always wanted to do is about to begin. Those mega-destroyers, topped with their rockets and machine guns, can really handle the bumpy terrain. The two of them speeding down a straightaway. But the villain pulls ahead with a maneuver known as a 90-degree slide. Out of it, followed by Tony, who has manipulated the same turn. Coming up now, a maneuver known as the switchback. The villain takes the right fork, causing Tony to slide into a sandy dune. Getting out, he loses time. Pulls ahead. Gaining enough time to take the bridge across the river. There he goes. Tony skips the bridge and jumps over the river to make up for lost time. The villain rushes down a rocky embankment, followed closely by Tony for the final showdown. Tony attempts to stop the villain with his machine gun. And finally fires off his rocket, ending the chase.
Well, I tell you, the guy who was the villain in this piece isn't really a villain. He happens to be one of Hollywood's top stuntmen. My buddy, Vince Daedrick Jr. How you feel, Vince?
Great.
Yeah? You want to do it again?
Oh, yeah. One more time.
All right, this
you
time.
hit hard.
Yeah? This time I'll wear the black suit?
Right.
Next, Burt Reynolds. Celebrity Daredevils will continue in a moment.
If you could name the one movie star, sort of attractive, nice kind of laugh, who gets as much fun out of doing stunts as he does acting, well, you know who Burt Convey's on location with in Atlanta.
Thank you, Bill. Well, here we are in Atlanta, Georgia, where they're making a new movie called Stand on It. And we've arranged a special interview today by Hollywood columnist Army Archard with director and former stuntman Hal Needham and Mr. Needham's favorite actor, and mine too, Mr. Burt Reynolds. Hi, guys.
Hi, Bertie.
Army, I know you have interviewed these gentlemen before about their pictures, but something I've always wanted to ask them, and I think everybody at home would like to know too. How do they come up with those terrific stunts?
He's the guy who's responsible? He's responsible for the really crazy ones, yeah. Because Hal's been doing stunts for so long, you know. I mean, he used to, they're just getting a little punchy. When we were roommates for 15 years or however long it was, he used to just fall down the stairs for breakfast. You know, he couldn't walk down the stairs because he couldn't resist not rolling down them. So when we finally started to do pictures together, I used to say to him, stupidly, let's do something that nobody's ever seen before. And that's when he came up with ideas like having cars go underneath semis rather than into them, you know, stuff like that.
You're doing some pretty fancy movement in Stand on It. We're going to show our audience some of the fight scenes that you have here, and of course, when they see the picture, they'll see some of the other things which we don't want to give away.
Oh, kitten's going to the sandbox.
Beg your pardon?
Hey,
I'm looking for him.
Y'all go on now, you hear? Yeah, come on. You do that real good. We want to hear about cluck. He can really cluck. He's good at it. Go on, show him. Stand up, give him a cluck, Patty.
See, the cluck, it starts way down here in your stomach.
Yeah, down in the stomach.
And it comes up through your esophagus.
Yeah, through your esophagus, right there.
It comes right out through.
Right.
Well, you got to get your chin way back.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
This is the best way to get a good cluck. Really
I'm going to get a good cluck. And
right there.
I'll cluck first, and then you'll cluck. Right head's back.
There, way back. He's looking to see them.
Good.
Ready to give him a cluck?
Ready to
give him a good one.
Good cluck.
Hal Needham clowning around for our camera knocks Burt right into the ladies' room.
Did he get out of frame?
Yeah.
Huh? Yes. Good. Did he look like he was falling or like he was...
He looked like he was falling.
Because you know what I think, Burt? I know you like to do this game, but we really need it.
But director Needham told Burt his fall wasn't funny enough, so Burt does it again.
And action, guys.
I'm ready for anything.
Burt was doing that long stomach slide for our camera. In fact, he slid into a wooden box and hurt himself.
Ready and go!
But he's back up to do it again, and this time his brother Jim says he's safe.
Have you ever done anything just a little bit beyond what you anticipated or were asked to do on this stunt?
Sure. Yeah.
Like what?
One time I got set on fire in a picture called Fuzz, and a mutual friend of Hal's and mine, Glenn Wilder, was there, and he was gaffing the show, and he was terrific. And they put glue all over me, and in those days, they didn't have the fire suits like they have today, where they have the fake face. Those days, they had nothing. What'd you guys put?
Well, I put aluminum foil and long underwear on, and
I was wrapped in Reynolds wrap, you know, it was all around me and stuff like that. and I looked like I was going into the microwave. And they had glue on my back and glue on the front, and I had a hat on that was covered with water. And they set the wall was all covered with glue, and they set me on fire. It was supposed to be a couple of kids throw gasoline on a bum, and I was a cop hiding as a bum so I could catch them. Well, they threw this stuff on me, they torched me up. And what I didn't know was, and I'm sure you've been set on fire a lot of times, when those flames get up in front of your face, you can't see anything. And I was trying to find this mud puddle to fall into, and I couldn't find it. And I heard Wilder's voice, and he said, I'll never forget this voice. He said, just keep calm. Everything is fine. The mud puddle is to your right. And I now fall. And I fell down and rolled over in the mud. And they talk about what is the connection between two stuntmen. You know, I mean, why are they so close to each other? I'll be close to Glenn Wilder the rest of my life. I mean, I'll always hear that voice.
Tell me, how do you know exactly where to hit somebody and miss? Now, I just watched you do a scene, and there didn't seem to be any question that you were going to miss.
A lot depends on who you're hitting. I mean, those are stunt guys I was throwing the punches at. When you're throwing a punch at an actor, I usually bring it back about 3 inches, because the actor, you never know whether the actor's going to lean into the punch or lean out, or he gets nervous. And if an actor comes close to me with a punch in the rehearsal, he'll hit me on the take, because the adrenaline is going that much more. He'll be walking around looking. You can watch a guy and tell right away that he's not real catty, and you can also see right away that he's a little bit hyper. And if he's hyper at all and not real coordinated, he'll hit you on the take, because the adrenaline will go. I mean, if he comes this close on the rehearsal, he'll hit you on the take usually. So you learn all those things. But if it's a stunt man that you're doing a punch with, or who's throwing a punch at you, he's always going to be in the same place at the same time, 99% of the time. I mean, I've been grazed a couple of times, but I've never hit anybody, not yet.
Let's see how close you can come to hitting me.
All right, Army, you asked for this.
Where do you want me to stand?
Once you stand here, I'll throw what we call the John Wayne punch. All right, Hal?
Yep.
The John Wayne punch, Duke actually invented this punch. And what you do is you just throw your hand to the extent that it'll go, which is right there, right? That doesn't make you nervous, does it?
No, not at all.
So you're on this camera. Now, this camera here will see a little air. You see a little air in this camera? Okay. This camera, there's no air at all, see? I just rear back.
Now, you snap your head at the end of his punch, put a little sound effect in it, you got to
go back like that when I throw the punch. Ready?
Ready?
Yeah, perfect.
Well, I want to thank you for the lesson.
You're welcome.
I want to thank you for a lot of wonderful pictures.
Thank you, Armin.
And we look forward to a lot more. And we'll be back.
Coming up, Daredevils Kirk Douglas and John Schneider.
If your nerves are not totally shattered by now, here's one more dynamite car crash. Cathy Lee knows all about this one, too.
One of the classic thrills performed by professional stunt drivers is called ramp to ramp. It consists of getting a car up to speed, driving it up a ramp, and then pretending it's an airplane as it flies into space, and then hopefully landing on another ramp. Our next celebrity daredevil will attempt such a stunt. The star of Walking Tall, who very shortly will be flying high, Mr. Bo Svensson.
When you wave me for coming, drop your arm all the way. I don't see that. Thank you.
After requesting certain hand signals from his trainer, Bo backs up and moves toward the starting position. he's ready, he lowers his helmet shield, then slams his foot on the accelerator.
I feel terrific.
Did it go like you planned?
Well, I think it went like I planned it, but
Did you mean to crash in the middle? Weren't you supposed to go the other ramp?
it seemed a little more fun than just going into another ramp, you know?
Well, did you plan that?
Yeah.
You planned going in the middle?
Sorry.
Here it is again in slow motion.
Question, would you do that again?
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bowles Benton.
When a director calls for action, the dangerous kind is usually handled by a stuntman. There are a few exceptional actors, however, who can handle it themselves. Hollywood columnist Army Archerd is on location with two of them.
Thank you very much. We're here in Laredo, Texas, where Kirk Douglas and John Schneider are filming Eddie Macon's Run. And this is some location you've picked out for this stunt.
Very fitting that John and I should be doing an interview with Army Archer in the cemetery.
It certainly is.
On the Mexican border.
Right. Well, I'm sure you've had some rather interesting and differing locations for stunts in both of your careers.
Well, this way the ride is not too far in case the stunt doesn't work.
That's right. You don't have far to go.
Did you ever have any close calls?
As far as this goes here, everyone has been very good. We've had a good time. There was a scene where I was hung, where I did have a harness in some of this scene, but I don't know if the makeup is still on or not, but I've got a little bit of...
I thought they had you.
Yeah.
I was already thinking, who can we get to replace John?
How do you hang somebody in the scene without losing him?
Well, for the first half of the scene, they actually more or less did it. They put the rope around my neck and pulled me, and I like stood on my tiptoes, and that was it. But I was standing on a chair, and had I fallen over, we'd have been in trouble. No, we wouldn't have been in trouble. I'd have been in trouble. But for the most of it, they had a harness on me. So they actually had the rope around my neck, but they had a wire going through it. Now, the wire supposedly takes all the tension, you know, with the harness, but if the wire breaks, then you call Central again and have another guy flown out in a couple hours, I suppose.
You have a fight in this picture, don't you?
We have a fight. That's where the scar came from on Kirk here.
You shouldn't have done that.
How do you do that? Can you show us exactly how you had the fight so that neither of you was hurt, but yet it looks so good? Can you?
Okay. Well, I don't have the handcuffs on that I had.
Handcuffed. I'm handcuffed away from him like this.
Should be best for this camera anyway.
Like this.
Let me get right for the camera. I'm handcuffed, and my little boy grabs him.
And I take the kid away, and as I turn back, bump.
Comes through like that.
Now, how close did you actually come?
Well, several times they thought he hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you...
one more time, slow motion.
No, we get... I know you guys.
Kurt, you're kind of an expert at gun twirling, aren't you?
Oh, what was that picture? Man Without a Star. Yeah. I want you to know that I'm the one that invented the toss over the shoulder, that one.
Wasn't Sammy Davis?
No, Sammy Davis was... As a matter of fact, Sammy Davis is one of the fastest draws that I've ever seen. He's a very fast draw. Yeah, this was a fun picture to do. I remember that. Fun picture to do. That was Man Without a Star. Little picture I did with King Vidor directing that we made for very little money at Universal. Fun picture.
But I'm sure that John will agree with me that the most spectacular stunt of all had to be the fight that you had with Woody Strode in Spartacus.
That had to be so well choreographed.
You know, exactly. You see, that's difficult. You see, like, when we did the thing with the handcuffs. See, now that is difficult. I never really said this to John. You see, and I quickly look at somebody, and I figure out whether or not he can do it, because there's nothing in that stunt that I have to do except react. So all I do there is I turn around, and I trust him to go right by and just miss me. Now, suppose he's over anxious and he hits me. You see, and the same thing with Woody Strode. You know, we try to use phony tridents and swords. You couldn't. So we had actually heavy swords, but we choreographed it like a real ballet. And Woody Strode is such an excellent actor, rather an excellent athlete. So he had to depend on me, and I had to depend on him. And when we worked it out and we had the confidence in each other, we could really hit, you know, and make it look good. That's difficult when you're doing something with someone else, because each person has to count on the other one. It's that little thing. You know, I thought about it because, you know, I believe in survival. When he had to hit me, that was a very tricky thing that John did, because he had to get up and from a lower position, whack right across the face. And at one time, remember, Jeff, the director, thought
I hit you, yeah.
Are you all right? He thought.
And he had the makeup on and everything, so he was sure he was hit. It's funny, I fought with Woody Strode, too.
Did you?
He's done a Dukes. And,
God,
I beat up Woody Strode.
Listen, they're calling me. I'm in this next shot, so you excuse me?
Well, we'll be looking
If you're in it, then I'm in it, so we better get.
Let's go.
All right.
We look forward to seeing an Eddie Macon's run.
Okay.
Again,
thank you very much, Army.
Thanks, John.
I appreciate it.
Best on Eddie Macon's run.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next, Superman Christopher Reeve flies for real.
Some actors reach for the stars. Our next celebrity daredevil goes for the entire sky, and this time with no help from Hollywood technicians. Bert is with this superstar on the runway at Rosemont, California.
We are here in Rosemont, California, at a small airport, as you can see, about to meet two of the sleekest flying machines ever to soar the heavens without an engine, an ASW-20 and the 6'4" Christopher Reeve. Can I ask you one question that I wondered about, because you are a flyer. You fly regular airplanes.
Right.
What got you, and why did you get to this?
You know, I got into this before Superman. People would have thought that having tried powerless flight in the movies, I was going to try it for a sport. But I flew, in fact, I use some of the feeling that I get and some of the freedom of this kind of flight for Superman, for a kind of state of mind, really, as flying as Superman. So I think the thing to do now is to go to fly.
Okay, let's do that.
But,
I mean, you do that. I say let's, I don't mean let's.
Safety is always first, and it's very safe. But there is a little precautionary thing, which is in case you hit somebody and they chop off a wing or something stupid happens, you do wear a security parachute. So now we take it onto the runway.
Okay.
You want to grab the wing?
Sure.
Hold it level. Just level, waist level. And we go that way.
All right.
Great.
Here we go.
Here's the tow plane.
Here's your plane.
All right.
Okay.
Fly.
Here we go. Where does this go? Behind you, the oxygen?
We'll get the straps in first.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's your glasses.
I'll be on 123 through you. Trade those. Put on these. Goes like that.
Boy, it's a snug fit.
Open. Close. Check. Tow plane, stand by, please. We're standing by to take off. And here we go on a roll. All the stuff we're doing here today is well within the safety range of what the planes are designed to do. It's kind of fun. You don't usually go out and do this stuff when you're flying normally because you're out to fly over long distances. We can't fly long distances today because the weather isn't suitable for it. So we're just taking a look at what the glider can do and trying to show people that glider really is an airplane. It's not a free fall. I'm waving, I'm deliberately rocking the wings there to say hello. Out one way, over the other, hello. Hello. Here I'm thermaling. Right, there's a strong part of the lift. It's usually stronger on the downwind side, and as I come around, you'll see the bank lessen, flattening out a bit more because the lift's not as strong. Following the contours of the thermal, staying with the shape of it. Here comes the wing over. I'm going up, I'm pulling back, and kicking rudder off. Look at that. And straight down and away. That was nice. Now I'll do a little tight turn to the right. Pick up speed and pulling back on the nose, coming up, coming up, coming up, and then just at the top before it stalls, kicking in rudder and falling away to one side. Ah, that's sweet. Now I'm putting the flaps in the negative position to increase the camber of the wing so I can put on more airspeed without stressing it too much. And I'm going to come around, gentle left turn into the wind, and then put the nose down and start picking up airspeed for the loop. I need about 100 knots so that that speed will carry me over the top without stalling, without having a wing fall off to one side or the other. I'm lining myself up into the wind. You'll see the nose is going down now, picking up airspeed, looking for 100 knots. When I have 100 knots, I'm ready. I'm looking out, balance myself on the horizon, straight back with the stick, up, 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 over the back head, looking for the horizon to keep myself straight, and back down. Stick forward again, now to 120 knots. Let's do another one. I have enough airspeed. I'm going up, looking for the horizon over my back, but I kick a little bit too much right rudder and go off slightly tail sideways. No big problem, just not quite as pretty as it should be. Now I'm converting back up into altitude again, and the airspeed up into 50 knots, and the whole thing's a break-even proposition. I begin and start at just about the same altitude.
Base station, Burt Convey, this is White Knuckle. Okay, Bert, when I get low, when I start telling you I'm getting ready for a landing, then you want to take up your position in the middle of the runway with that camera. I'll come creaming down the runway, pull up, do a split turn, and come around and try to land at your feet.
All right. Here comes Christopher Reeve, sometimes known as White Knuckles. He's really coming right at us. I'm not sure I want to be part of this shot. You see him? Look out! Yow! Did you see that? I thought I was going to die right here in Rosamond, California, wherever we are. He's going to come around and land now. I thought he was going to land that time, to tell you the truth. Woo! Looks like a definite landing. You can see those red things up on the wings to slow him down, the brakes. Here he comes. Looks good. Unbelievable. I didn't want you to think I didn't trust you. I got a little nervous and I moved away and you hit it right on the dime. White Knuckles does it again. That was rather sensational.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has really been a remarkable 2 hours. Our courageous actors and actresses have conquered more fear and nervousness than any opening night could possibly have brought them. We congratulate them all and call them celebrity daredevils with the greatest respect and admiration. Our thanks to Army Archer, Burt Convey, Cathy Lee Crosby, Jill St. John, and all of you for joining us. Now, you can take a deep breath, relax,